Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition. I just rebooted the game up and started doing my settings. I entered the time again, and then this popped up. So looks like we've got some more stuff going on. So hang on, hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. Hey, I do it. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave it at the clock set at 12 and they call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. You're welcome. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I mean, I try. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, the next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. That's great. I wonder how many of those there are. I might have to, do a, You know what, shall we? Should we quickly, do all of it? Alright, okay, that's what we're gonna do. I think. Yeah. Okay, I'll be back in a second. We are now loading in again. So I could just set my favorite time. My favorite time is easy. It's 5 p.m., baby. It's 5 p.m. Why is it 5 p.m.? You will never know. You will never know. It's a mystery. 5 p.m., your favorite time of day. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious. How accurate 5 p.m. is? Let's use another slider to find out. Uh-oh. How accurate is 5 p.m.? How far off are we? To be honest with you, we are about midway off. It's currently nearly 10, so probably gonna go like that. Yeah, that's about right. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip a couple of new ones up. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Oh god, okay, we're doing it again. So I'm assuming this is going to be the title screen. Okay, I'll see you guys in a second. Oh, I am back again, you better believe it. Booting up the game for the third time within 3 to 4 minutes. Ooh, please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Wait, we already had this, didn't we? Why am I laughing? Yeah, we kept it here. Please adjust the slider until the dog and the cat are friends. Uh, there we go. Friends. That's so cute. I actually love it. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. I kind of want to see what the other ones are. Okay. The number 9. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Like there, I think. It's a good place for the slider to be. Which of the two made-up words below are most appealing to you? Scrumtush or Occupyoinkle? Occupyoinkle has a real... Yeah, no, that's not even difficult for me. I like Occupyoinkle. Please don't adjust the slider. You got it, bud. Do you know what time it is right now? I do. I just looked. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? In an ideal world, no, because I have to go to bed soon, but we'll say yes. What is time anyway? Yes. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? I mean, yes. Help? Sure. Will you come back to visit me? Yes. Okay. So, are we gonna... Hmm... I'll come back to the... I'll boot the game up again once we've completed it. And, if there's anything funny, I'll just edit it onto the very end of the video. Right. Begin the game. The end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
So I'm assuming that everything
Stanley
is... Yep, cool. Right, we're skipping that. Welcome back. Okay. So last time we tried out the new content. The new content was terrible, so we tried experimenting with a bunch of different stuff that the narrator thought would make really good gameplay mechanics for the Stanley Parable 2. The whole thing turned out to be kind of a mess, but he quite liked all the individual ideas, so he decided to stuff all of his ideas into the original game. And that's where we're now at. So, yeah. Balloons now. That's good. So we've got to look around again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Friggin', like, it would have been so much better with the balloons that I chose, just saying. But, hey, that's just me. Right. Is that the reassurance bucket? Oh my god.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Oh, I'm so reassured right now. This is great. Oh, there's like a thing that stops me. Another balloon. Okay.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
This is true. Okay, okay. There's no new content. I mean, I guess it's all new content because it's the Stanley Parable 2, right?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
All right, we'll play by the rules first time. We'll see if the story just like changes. Just in case. You'll never know. Okay.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
It's unbarred. It's unbarred. Oh my god.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Yeah.
The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
What?
You can feel that, can't you?
Well,
the aura
how?
of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it
Where do I
deserves
put it?
the bucket.
Where do I put it?
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed
This
to go with
space
the other
here.
cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley.
Yeah,
Don't
cleaning
give in.
supply.
Don't
Oh,
hand over
don't.
the bucket. I know how hard it must
Okay.
be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This
Okay.
is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't
Yeah,
hand
you
it
know
over.
what?
Oh no. We're getting
Okay.
into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons. Even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your
I
journal entries detailing the rich
can't, 'cause she
emotional
won't stop
landscape of
talking.
your feelings for the bucket, as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Yeah, we've been through stuff, and I'm gonna with the
Okay, I've
yeah.
got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all.
Oh dear
Here we
God, thank
go.
you.
There.
Yes.
Now it's settled.
Ha
No more
ha.
debate. No more discussion.
Ha
Take a hike, Broom Closet, with all your
ha.
meandering philosophical diatribes
Ah.
about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
So that was a whole thing, huh?
All right, I've got a second sticker back
Oh,
here, and I'm
okay.
going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That
Yeah.
way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you
Yeah.
can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah,
Mm.
it's a bucket.
Yep.
There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Is he going to give me more stickers if I just stay in the broom closet for longer? Because if he is, I kind of want to stay here for a bit longer, you know?
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such
Yeah.
room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can
Ha.
get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Ha ha. Bye, broom closet. You and I are done. Although I do kind of want to go back in. What happens if I... Nope, okay. The narrator's sick of my shit now.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna follow the rules this time. We're just gonna go for it. Do we want to? Okay, it does. Oh, actually, there might be a new message on the money in the. Oh my
Thermorphin, one of the
God!
miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Yes, sir. Right, so money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Fair, fair. This is certainly feeling like a brand new game. I genuinely am blown away by all that's going on here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Yeah.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it.
It's a
The
cat.
two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
Oh,
Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the
I always
keypad
forget.
was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
okay.
Another miniature Stanley
Yes!
figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay, that was the worst one, but sure, sure. Is it like weird that I'm actually kind of enjoying this? Like, even though we've already done it like 15 million times.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right.
Yes.
The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yay. I wonder if I try and do the madness ending with the bucket, will it like save me from the madness?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
We are doing it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Okay.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
No.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
This is fair.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He
Where's the jump
squeezed
circle?
bucket
Come on.
tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Look, I need to know where the jump circle is, okay? This is,
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
this
For
machinery
he and the
will
bucket
never
would
exist. Okay, I
dismantle
can't. I
the
can't.
controls
You're
for
just
good.
talking at me.
Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way.
Ooh, that's
the
cool.
bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Yeah. Oh. God, we're brilliant.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blankness. Was it over?
Was it?
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had
I've still got the
their
bucket. I can
greatest
see
and
its
darkest
silhouette.
enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? Unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
What?
The
No!
facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Oh. Okay. And now we're back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. So is the new game get out of the game with the bucket?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Yay. It's now got all of its stickers on it. How long we've been going for? We good? Yeah, we good. That was like 17 minutes. Okay. Let's try...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, let's try the madness ending. Oh, there will be a reward for finding them all. How can we find them? The completionist instinct. We need more blanks. Inside a sequel exhibit, nearby a fireplace. A private but smelly place for an important person. Somewhere both red and blue, we know where that one is. Stairs, something to do with stairs. A large room, lots of boxes. Okay. Right, so we've got the red and blue door, we know where that is. Stairs could be where we're about to go. Large room, lots of boxes. Could be the bit before the red and blue door, maybe. We're going to do all the endings. Stop kidding yourselves. I want them so much. I want to go home. There will be cleaning of this wall required. Who are you? Small floating objects have appeared across the office. We have to synergize our resources to... Okay. How can you tell you've spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? This is great. Fig leaves are hard to find. Follow clues provided by employee 416. We can do it. Red room? Okay. Thank you. Good luck. Okay.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Yes. That's great. Wait, hang on. Has he got more? Is he going to say more? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Moving on. Right, so we're going to go down the stairs this
Coming
time.
to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Madness ending. I don't know how this is going to go. It could be bad. Boom.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies.
Figlies is much better.
What
Figlies
name
is...
better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
So yeah, Figlies. Figlies is good. Okay. Madness ending.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Come on,
He looked
bucket.
down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
No, we need it.
That's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
No.
How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This
No,
is
no,
all
no, 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 no,
terribly
no.
wrong. Surely no good would come from
It's
this.
gone.
Who
The
knows
bucket's
what
gone.
sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket.
The bucket's gone.
Indeed. Now he noticed the walls were repeating, which was, of course,
Oh
very
no.
odd.
Oh no.
And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Again.
Gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it.
Oh, where's the bucket?
Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me!
Oh, okay.
The bucket!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next.
Oh,
None of
it's
them
not the
were
right
his.
bucket.
None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley!
No.
Find me!
He
Please.
had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was
It's where my legs
incredibly
should be.
painful.
Oh.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Oh. Stanley.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Interesting. Okay, so it's exactly the same.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him.
Oh.
Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Wow. Okay. Mariella sounds pretty cool. Okay. So we're no closer to getting out of the place with the bucket. We need to do
All his
that.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his
Right,
left.
how long have we got? Cool. We're still good. Right, we'll take a trip to the broom closet. The broom closet, obviously. Mission status. Right, so somewhere both red and blue, we know, and a large room, lots of boxes. We're maybe a bit 50-50 on. Trying to think of what endings we've still got to get.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom
Okay.
closet, simply because I have no remaining
That's fine,
space.
that's fine.
If I did, coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Right. Do we have... I get the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Okay. Does this open yet? Oh, it does now. Can we do anything with the elevator now that we've got a bucket? Eh. Oh, this is going to be exactly the same, isn't it? Okay. Gonna give it like a minute, maybe a bit less. What does he actually say in the song? hear 3-4. And Ba-da-ba. Okay. We're definitely not going anywhere, so... Okay, right. So we've got the backing out of the door thing. Okay, I have an idea of how we might be able to get the bucket out. Well, I have two ideas actually. And one of them is the one where you back out of the door, because that leads to an escape pod. I'm wondering if we can maybe like chuck the bucket into the escape pod and then continue the adventure. The other one would be jumping out of the window with the bucket in the first area and getting outside of the map. Maybe we can put the bucket outside so it doesn't get affected and then... But I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure.
Stepping into his manager's office,
I've forgotten
Stanley
the
was
thing.
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed
like
by the weight of this revelation,
4.
Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the
I
bucket.
can't remember.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark
Let's
clouds
find a
of
thing that
confusion
writes
and
it down.
chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and
Let's
he
get my
knew it.
notepad out.
The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual
What is it?
connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he
Yeah.
have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Okay, 2845. Right, I've got that written down now, so I can literally just like fly through. I probably won't need to use it again, but so 28.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless,
Yeah, no,
since he
it's the
could
same.
but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket
It was.
guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical
Okay.
explanation.
So I'm thinking if we do the museum next, maybe? Yeah, I'm thinking the museum might be a good shout.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Not true. We are immortal.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Okay, okay. Alright, see what occurs. Did you know the end is never the end is never the end? Okay. Alrighty.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
This is not
To be
true.
sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death?
You're wrong. The
This
bucket
what
is
Stanley thought to
magical.
himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
You're wrong.
Farewell, Stanley.
No. Yeah.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end,
What?
as it was crushed violently
No.
to death.
No. Oh. Wait. Okay, we're good. Just as we were last time. Okay. Right, then we go here.
It was
We've
a
still got the
shame,
bucket.
the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way.
Wait, it's gone.
But this one stood above
Wait,
the
is this
rest.
different?
It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like the bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a carnivorous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched with substantiated knowledge. Wait, and substantiated, Jesus. Knowledge of the bucket and its history, is the. Oh my, I can't read today. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Wow, powerful. I was like completely different.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to
Bucket.
take a bucket like this
No.
and to claim it for his
No.
own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the
No!
bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
I hate you. I hate you. I mean, I don't hate the bucket. I love the bucket. I just hate the people that's stealing it from me. Of course, buckets. It's like them mocking me with the bucket I do not have. A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life. Yes, it has, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. There are literally buckets on the market with two handles. I hope no one was sacrificed for them. The Inferno bucket. A replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one could control a bucket. Fair. It's a mighty fine bucket. Well, there's something immediately to my right, so we'll do that. The stress bucket, presented without commentary. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reinsurance, vulnerability, size and strength of the bucket, stress levels, water of the bucket, coping strategies, rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy. Okay, cool. Well, that's me getting stuck on a wall right there. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Oh man, it's about the decline of humanity. That's what this is about. That doesn't go anywhere.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh man. The hanging bucket is the bucket we were just looking at. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between the bucket and humanity. However, clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. I mean, this is how this ends, right? Oakley dokley. Huh. Oh, wait, what? I could have taken the... Oh, okay, I still can. I thought I was going to start falling, but I didn't. I was just like floating.
There is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Okay.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the
Wait,
machine.
what?
Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as
I believe.
commander of a new world, a new vision.
I mean, I feel like the bucket just got flattened, but yes. But I mean, it's going to be reset anyways. That's the thing. So, yeah. We got reset. Okay, so we've got the...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Oh.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Okay.
Warmth
Bucket.
spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Good. Okay, so we've got the one where we...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, so we go this way. So we're gonna... Yep, so we have this. Yep, that's all the same. Broom closet.
Stanley, we must move on from
that's
this
fine.
broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we beat in here. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Up. Round. Into the bathroom. Why does that door open outwards? Because the boss knows what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Huh. That's very wise. Very wise indeed. Okay, so 2845. 2845.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Okay.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes.
Onwards.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay, we can do this. So I'm gonna save the escape pod until later. Oh my god, how does the bucket interact with the
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay. Nothing new here. We might do the Easter egg with the disco this time as well.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
Yes.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Oh, right, sorry. I was not paying attention at all.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley
Okay.
nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Yep.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Okay. So we'll do the disco thing, and then we'll,
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in
Disco
Stanley's
ending.
feeble mind.
Okay, we can do this. Come on. Wait, do I have to turn away? Is that how this works? What? What? Can't we know these open. Do they not open anymore? Is that the thing? Or is it like a timed thing? I do seem to remember that last time it, there we go. Hopefully, it will still give us what we want. What we want. And what we want is disco. Here we go. And... oh yeah. Secrets Room 2014. Woo! Okay, that was nothing. That's annoying. Oh. Wait, is it louder? No idea.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
That's fair. Don't like that we ignored the disco, though. Okay,
But here
next
was
up.
proof. The heart of the operation.
So the facility.
Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
No.
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this?
No.
Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
What? Oh. Flamingos.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hand, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
Wow.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I mean, yeah, sure. I'm pretty happy. Okay. Oh, what's happened? Oh no, what's happened? Where is my bucket? Where is my bucket?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone. Not
Okay, we've got time for one more. Okay, so that door is open.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Okay, have we done...
The door on his left.
We've done everything, right? I think we have.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Okay.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
Yeah,
yes,
it's pretty
Stanley
good.
thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
We'll wait and see if there's another one. Just in case. Same pictures and stuff. Nothing's changed. 5.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Yeah. It's pretty thrilling. There's going to be another one, isn't there?
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Yeah, maybe. Is there another one? So I'm thinking
Stanley
we do...
decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
So I feel as though... I'm trying to think which ending is the quickest, just so we can, like, get one done before the end of the video. Okay, I think this is probably it, right? Yeah. So the line goes on for quite a while, from what I remember. We could do the red door?
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
I think red door is quite fast, isn't it?
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Okay, we have no Stanley figurine just yet. But this is the room with boxes. What are we thinking? Are we thinking this and then
Good, said the
the red
bucket.
door?
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
You know what? We'll do
Stanley
that.
did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he
Right, we'll do this.
unthinkingly
We'll do
did
this.
whatever the bucket asked.
In here,
Said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Wait, boxes. There's boxes in this room. Is there a Stanley figurine thing? I don't think there is. Okay, this room.
Now pick up the phone,
Said the bucket.
pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
There's the bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press left to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever
okay.
Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press triangle to take me back home with you. Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Go back to work. Oh my god.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
But it's my friend. Don't listen to the loud man. Press right for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press left to ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It does, it does. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press down to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more,
Oh, that's a pot.
what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press circle to relive this same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
Oh man.
Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press up to go home, to work, to home, to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Okay. Okay. We're good. We're good. Go back to work, Stanley. Okay, okay. That was a little bit weird and creepy. You know, that was actually a little bit scary. Primarily because I don't ever want to lose the bucket. Okay, so we have reached a point where we can stop now. So I'm starting to get a sense for the theming of this DLC. It's very buckets themed. Um, that's good though. This is interesting. It's very interesting. It's like I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it could be talking about the ability to suspend disbelief, or it could be the ability to project feelings onto an object, or it could be comfort objects and things like that. I don't know. Or it could just be a wacky adventure about a bucket. A man and a bucket, should I say. I'm really enjoying it so far still, and we still need to figure out how to get the bucket out of the facility if we can. I feel like I know how. I think I've worked it out, and I'm saving it till last. Um, and if it does turn out to be the right way, I can promise you I've not looked it up or anything. It was just a guess, a ballpark guess. So I think it's going to be the escape pod followed by something else. I don't know what just yet. Maybe you just complete the game normally and then the bucket is like elsewhere. Anywho, um, so next time we're going to do my favorite storyline, the adventure line. Um, but we're also going to do the red and blue door and the unplugging the phone storyline as well. So yeah, I'll catch you then. So thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Farewell.